Now on BBC4, the first of two highlights programmes from this summer's Cambridge Folk Festival, introduced by Mark Radcliffe and Verity Sharp.
You know, the atmosphere just hits you again straight away. You just come back through those gates each year and you're straight back into it.
It's absolutely true, and how nice to feel the rays of the sun this year as well. This is the 42nd Cambridge Folk Festival, and we've got some great music for you. What have we got, Mark?
Well, Cerys Matthews, the voice of Catatonia, is back in action. Good to see her. And also, son of one of the festival favourites, Richard Thompson, we've got Teddy Thompson.
Yeah, we've got Seth Lakeman. He's had a great year this year. Also, Nickel Creek, sporting the master mandolin player, Chris Thiele. And haven't we also got one of your favourite female singers in the world?
Well, absolutely. In the absence of Kate Bush, which doesn't seem likely she's going to come, Emmylou Harris, a legend of Americana, and as I said, my finest female vocalist of all time, I would say. But we're going to start with folk legends, and I do not use that term lightly. These are the Chieftains.
Pacific shore, from the green of the flowing mountains to the south Belfast shore. She's mighty tall and handsome, she's loved by one and all. She's a modern combination, that Wabash Cannonball. Well, she came down from Birmingham one cold December day. As she pulled into the station, you could hear all the people say, there's a gal from Tennessee, she's long and she's tall. She came down from Birmingham on that Wabash Cannonball. States are dandy, so the people always say. From New York to old St. Louis, you can't find a better way. And the hills of Minnesota, where the rippling waters fall, there's no changes need be taken on that Wabash Cannonball. Joe, I've been married a long time ago. Where did you come from? Where did you go? Where did you come from, Cotton Eye Joe?
Now, if you're looking for a great musical pedigree, how about this? The son of Richard and Linda Thompson. It's not something he likes to talk about much because he's far too busy doing his own thing. 6 years ago, he released a debut album. Last year, he gave us another, Separate Ways, which is all original material. He was born here, but he lives now in New York, so this is a welcome return for Teddy Thompson.
Life will pass him by. Live underground pretty soon, that's the way of life. I feel so warm in my room, safe and sound inside my tomb. She get up, she go out, I'm sure there's something I can't do without. She get up, she get up, she get up. The world goes on without me. I know it, I know it. No one misses the quiet kid. There are things I may miss, living ignorance bliss. I'm so wrapped up in myself, got no time for everyone else. So she get up, she go out, I'm sure there's something I can't do without. She get up, she get up, she get up, she go out, I'm sure there's something I can't do without. She get up, she get up, she get up. Oh.
Here we are in the woodland glade with an array of shriveled grasses and plants behind us, resplendent after months of burning. And Cerys Matthews, how are you?
I'm very well, how are you?
I'm really good, but it's great to see you
Well, it's great to be here.
back performing.
Yeah.
Because we've missed you. It's been a while. What's happened since Catatonia? That broke up. You'd had enough of the band, enough of being in a band?
Yeah, and I wanted to do more like folky stuff. And so I escaped to the mountains of Tennessee to do that.
Yeah.
And then I did Cock a Hoop. And then I wanted to do more than just folk again, and I'm here with a full band this time, playing quite loud music at the folk festival.
Yeah, well, good. I think. Yeah, no, that's great. That's great. I mean, and when you say you escaped to the mountains, I mean, it literally was out in the wilds of nowhere, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was just like this. Only I had a wooden roof. I mean, wooden walls and a roof.
Like a shack.
It was a shack.
Weren't you scared?
No. I should have probably have been, but no, I wasn't. I was just all like romantic, sitting there listening to the insects and.
Right, you just needed to get away. You'd sort of fried your brains in every way.
I'd fried my brains and had my brains fried, so
Yeah.
it was time to Nip off.
Right, okay.
Yes.
And so while you were out there, as well as being inspired and starting to write, you had a life-changing moment when your husband, your future husband, rambled past the shack.
With a couple of dogs.
Yeah.
And
Did you know him? I mean, did you at all? Did you just see him out of the shack window, out of the broken shutter?
well, actually, I saw him out of the window as he passed. I thought, my, that's a handsome cowboy. Come here.
Okay, right, fair enough. Well, look, everybody's really pleased to see you back in action, and enjoy it tonight.
Thank you very much.
By the great Missouri Pacific line, there goes the last train out of town. The sun beat down and there was nothing more to see. I turned my shadow back around, back in a town where I defend you endlessly. And if we're running out of oxygen, running out of fuel, drift ends an easy flight. You said you'd stay all night, and now you're saying that the lights are growing dim up in this town we're living in. Sunday, leave your mind. There's something strange. What made you so pretty? What made you so fine? What makes you dig so deep in this fool heart of mine? I should notice you till I look down. And if we're running out of oxygen, running out of fuel, drift ends an easy flight. You said you'd stay all night, and now you're saying that the lights are growing dim up in this town we're living in. Sunday, leave your mind. There's something strange going. If we're running out of oxygen, running out of fuel to burn, drift ends an easy flight. You said you'd stay all night, and now you're saying that the lights are growing dim up in this town we're living in. Sunday, leave me up. You said you'd stay all night. And now you're saying that the lights are growing dim in this town we're living in.
There is so much to enjoy at Cambridge. The festival ale, of course, always goes down a treat. There's plenty for the kids to do, songwriting workshops, dance workshops, and then you might want to sneak off and buy yourself a guitar or a ukulele and then sit in a quiet corner and have a tune with your friends. There's plenty of that going on backstage. In fact, musicians who've probably never even met before are sitting down and communicating with great passion through that wonderful thing that is music. On the other hand, there are musicians who know each other extremely well, dabbling in what is quite frankly the quaint and quirky.
We're out in the main arena, main stage back over here, Saturday afternoon. People still a bit laid back, conserving energy for the evening ahead. Lots of hats, it's been scorching hot. Hat stands have done good trade. Thunderstorms rumoured to be coming in, so maybe the Welly stall will be doing a good trade before the day is out. Ooh, fantastic smell of chicken tikka from over here. Anyway, we're going to have some music, a band with its roots in the Highlands of Scotland. One of the foremost bands for Celtic music on the world stage today. These are Capercaillie.
somehow he cried. Look at mother's girl, hung tight. Somehow he look at mother's girl, hung. Doing the thing that I did, the thing that I chill right. The thing that I did, the thing that I chill right. Somehow he look at mother's girl, hung tight. Somehow he look at mother's girl, hung. The thing that I did, the thing that I chill right. The thing that I did, the thing that I chill right.
See, it's not until the mandolin's played like that you actually realise just how expressive that instrument is. What piece is that?
That's the fourth movement from Johann Sebastian Bach's D minor partita for solo violin.
Because of course the violin and the mandolin translate exactly.
They do actually. Yeah, they're tuned exactly the same. This is G, D, A, E, just like a violin. Of course, the difference is that is not very like a bow at all.
Is that why you chose the mandolin rather than the fiddle?
Yeah, these are much cheaper than bows, actually. No, there's that. I actually saw a mandolin for the first time when I was 2 years old at a pizza place in San Diego, California. Played more or less in the bluegrass style. I just loved it. It was small. It was high pitched. I could relate to that as a 2-year-old. So I started playing when I was 5, and didn't actually get into that kind of music until I think my grandma introduced it to me when I was maybe 15 or 16.
And then you thought you'd try it out?
Yeah, I heard Bach for the first time. Right then, it was Glenn Gould playing the Goldberg variations. I was transfixed. I thought it was the most gorgeous music I'd ever heard. And of course, I immediately tried to learn it by ear, which is how I'd learned everything. I couldn't read music or anything like that. I learned to do everything by ear. You know, somebody plays a song and you just learn it. You know. I tried to do that with the classical thing, and then realized I'm gonna have to learn how to read music.
But it must be such a joy to play it to yourself like that. I mean, it's such an intimate instrument anyway. But you know, we're going to go from hearing you play that wonderful bit of Bach to seeing you in all its bluegrass glory.
That's right.
On stage with Nickel Creek. I mean, is that do you have to do a head shift or?
Absolutely, and in fact, you know, it's just now playing it. I'm in the other space right now. I'm not in the classical space, and your right hand technique really changes depending on what, you know. Again, when you're playing something like bluegrass, you need to get loud. You know, you need to be able to get over the guitar and fiddle and bass and that kind of thing for solos. And And so the right hand goes into a little bit more of a machine gun mode.
Squatting like festival elves once again in our woodland glade. I found myself in the company of Roddy Wumble with John and Rod as well from Idlewild. So you came for the first time to Cambridge last year, I think, didn't you?
Yeah, we played, Idlewild played an acoustic set on the second stage. So that was my first. I mean, I've been to a lot of festivals, but this was just unlike anything else I've been to. I love it.
Yeah, it is just a wonderful atmosphere. You just connect with it straight away, don't you?
It's just nice people, and there's lots of children, and yeah, it just feels like a nice place to be for 2 days, 3 days.
I mean, obviously with the Idlewild stuff, you know, by no definition a folk band. Although I'm not sure what a folk band is. I mean, there's stuff on at the folk festival. You wouldn't say, well, that's not folk. But I mean, had you always been interested in kind of acoustic stuff and roots stuff?
I think so. I mean, my musical taste, definitely. And with the band, I think over the 10 years we've been together, it's definitely gone in that direction. And obviously this record is pretty much like a folk rock, folk album, you know, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah,
so,
right.
Yeah, no, it's been something I've kind of been wanting to be involved in a lot more in the past few years. Now I am. It feels, well, I mean, it feels kind of amazing.
And you sang with Kate Rusby, and she sang with you. Is that where you met John?
It is actually. Yeah. I met him at the Folk Awards about 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And we hung out and decided to record a record.
Yeah. He's so quiet. He's usually yabbering on. You should have seen me in the bar last night. It never stopped.
Thanks. Hi, Mum. No, well, Idlewild have always been one of mine and Kate's favourite bands.
Yeah.
I mean, just totally one of our favourites, but we always thought that they needed some tin whistles.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And,
You could bring to them
done.
what they were missing.
Yeah.
You know.
No, but it's an amazing experience recording the record, really enjoyable.
Yeah. Okay. I should say, I mean, you're not performing this year on the stage. You just kind of linked into busk in the woods, really.
Yeah. Pretty much, actually, yeah.
Right, yeah, well, enjoy. You've got the weather for it. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you,
All right,
mate.
thanks a lot.
2, 3, 4.
If you never leave the Highlands, like you're drowning under rain, and your sadness tastes like whiskey, and my body breathes the same, and I'll drain my wisdom empty just to feel that space again. But you know nothing is as silent, and my secret is my silence, and my secret is my silence, and my silence is in vain. I'm sick of living in these buildings that were built in blood and rain, but from the warm side of the window, the views always look the same. But your face, it held the stories full of dreams it can contain. But you know nothing is as silent, and my secret is my silence, and my secret is my silence, and my silence is in vain. You know nothing is as silent, and my secret is my silence, and my secret is my silence, and my silence is in vain. And you held on to a country from the Kale Yard to the grave, and you spoke in quickly written verses hidden in your Gaelic name, to approach land without a harbour and find your way home. And you approach land without a harbour and find your way home. And you approach land without a harbour and find your way home. And you approach land without a harbour and find your way home. And you approach land without a harbour and find your way home. And you approach land without a harbour and find your way home by a nicotine flame. but you know nothing is as silent. And my secret is my silence, and my secret is my silence, and my silence is in vain.
Now, at the Folk Awards this year, no less than 3 awards were won by this brilliant man that I'm now sitting here with, and this is John Tans. John, it's 42 years of the Cambridge Folk Festival. Is this something that you know well as a performer or a punter?
As a teenager, I used to come, yeah. I came to the 3rd one, I think, and that would be in the 60s, obviously, and it was quite small. Outdoor. Ken Woolard ran it in those days, and it was like little pockets of people standing around playing banjos, and people like Alex Campbell were there, and Tom Rush from the States, and Sister Rosetta Tharpe, and Pentangle were in the heyday, so they were here. It was very outdoors, and there was no kind of covered bit for the customers, and it was rather beautiful. One of the most
blinding things that I've heard from you recently were the radio ballads that went out on Radio 2, a series of 6 radio ballads. Just give us the background to those.
It was the 50s, the late 50s, and some great radio pioneers, namely one, Charles Parker, and another guy called Ewan MacColl, which lots of people who are interested in folk music will know about, and Peggy Seeger, made some plays, effectively, out of going into people's lives with the newly sort of created mobile tape recorder and taking their real voices for the first time. Because before then you'd go out and record somebody and then it would come back, get a stenographer would type it up, and an actor in a boiled shunt would then speak it, which is kind of hopeless. So these are real people first time being heard, and MacColl would then write a ballad to accompany, to support, to cradle the information that these people had told him. We tried to get this to go again for some years, and it wasn't until quite recently that Radio 2 said, go on then, show us your magic. So we got very excited about getting the job, and then got very threatened about how we were going to do it. We knew we were going to use the matrix that they'd used, which was go and talk to people, and then find some songmakers, not just one in this case, because it was only MacColl in the original, but a bunch of great songwriters who are around at the moment, and just send them little bits of tasters that they can springboard out of. Some inspiration can be gleaned from that woman talking about what it was like to be a crane driver during the Second War when all the men had gone abroad. And then, so Julie Matthews goes off and writes a song. It's fantastic. Somebody says, oh, we can never get our curtains clean. So Ray Hearn goes off and writes a song. Kate Rusby comes and sings it. How good is this? This is like, and so I think I've been training for this for 40 years. It's the best job I ever had.
Vulcan says to Lucifer, that's fallen into need. It's me as makes this body ring and keeps these flames alight. Lucifer to Vulcan says, I'm still the gaffer here. I've signed up another demon, and it's him you'll come to fear. So it's no to do with me, old lad. Vulcan says, I know the game. I bet Thatcher's got her hand in this, says Lucifer, for shame. Come on, Lucy, what's the beggar called? He answered with a grin. Maggie says his name's McGregor. It won't be last you'll hear of him. Going down to Steno's, get me sent a start. Dunna let it gobble, it'll tear the place apart. Catch it as it's coming, throw the bugger back, Keep your tongues upon the metal and your eyes upon the track. Going down to Steelo's, get me set a start. Dunna let it cobble, it'll tear the place apart. Catch it as it's coming, throw the bugger back. Keep your tongues upon the metal and your eyes upon the track. I had no choice, and if I had, I'd still have chosen steel. That can do the worst against us, they'll not change the way we feel. Me father's father did it, and I know it's all but gone. There were 100,000 others along the Rother and the Don. Going down to Steelo's, get me set a start. Dunna let it cobble, it'll tear the place apart. Catch it as it's coming, throw the bugger back. Keep your tongues upon the metal and your eyes upon the track. I got to start at Steelo's, me dad put in a word. His dad had done the same for him, that's how the work got shared. The mill roared like a dragon's den, the tongue men proved their power. Catching red hot metal, coming 40 mile an hour. Going down to Steelo's, get me set a start. Dunna let it cobble, it'll tear the place apart. Catch it as it's coming, throw the bugger back. Keep your tongues upon the metal and your eyes upon the track. Going down to Steelo's, get me set a start. Dunna let it cobble, it'll tear the place apart. Catch it as it's coming, throw the bugger back. Keep your tongues upon the metal and your eyes upon the track. Have a good afternoon. Thank you very much. Hello.
Take your last breath. I had full mast. It was draping like a mermaid. She was dressed. A lonely heart setting free. It's all her cares. They went sailing out to sea. To those people, they gathered around to view that lovely sight. The young maidens, they came to town. They waved her out through the night. A lonely heart setting free. It's all her cares. They went sailing out to sea. She tried to clear the rocks with swelling sails. The ocean beat her every time. With a crack, her body failed. The sea engulfed and filled her eyes. Lonely heart setting free. It's all her cares. They went sailing out to sea. I can hear her calling. I can hear her calling. I can hear her calling back to me. Then the news returned to the town. Every mate's out on the pier. With lovers lost, fathers never found. Now that mermaid trust in tears. A lonely heart setting free. It's all our prayers. They went sailing out to sea. I can hear her calling. I can hear her calling. I can hear her calling back to me. Now that mermaid's dressed in tears. Feel that mermaid's dressed in
How you doing, all right?
I'm fine, mate, yeah, I'm having a good time.
Yeah, now, you played here last year for the first time.
Played here last year, I did the club tent,
yeah,
like the showcase tent, just after the sort of nomination of the Mercury for Kitty J. And then, yeah, quite bizarre, so we come back with a full band and play the main stage, quite a difference. Yeah.
And how did you enjoy being on the main stage? Did it feel like an event?
Pretty privileged to do it, because it's, you know, a bit of a mecca, Cambridge.
Yeah.
It's the best folk festival, I guess, in the country. Yeah. So it was great to be doing the main stage and then have a packed audience in front of us. It was some good moments we were having up there.
Yeah.
Sparring off each other, playing. It was cool, really.
Yeah, fantastic. And the songs you write yourself are very much influenced by the folk music of your area, the Dartmoor area, but when you were growing up, the songs and stories that you heard,
yeah, it's sort of legends, stories, you know, about the myths and some historical settings as well. It's just really quite natural for me to write in that way, because it's such a beautiful part of the world and there's such a wealth of stories there. So,
which is what kind of keeps the folk music tradition alive and rolling forward, isn't it? You take the traditions, but you put them into the landscape now.
Yeah, exactly, in a contemporary way, hopefully, and that it seems to be relating quite well what we're saying. You know, whether it's someone existed 200 or 300 years ago, but people can relate now from that perspective. So yeah, it's important that it's still happening. There's lots of great artists doing it as well, though.
Yeah, okay. Well, best of luck with it all. Good to see you. Enjoy Cambridge.
Cheers, Mark. Thank you, mate.
Now, here's one of those really heartwarming tales. Last year, a singer was invited here to sing on one of the smaller stages. She sings in Gaelic. She's got a very delicate, very beautiful voice. She's from North Uist in the Western Isles in Scotland, and she's called Julie Fowlis. Her career has been snowballing, so this year she's been invited back to perform on the centre stage.
Fowlis.
Thank you very much. See you all again soon. Cheers.
I was watching Tom Russell on the main stage earlier on. Good to see you. It was a good show. You had them in the palm of your hand there telling your stories, I thought.
It's taken a long time.
I don't believe that at all.
No, it was a great audience. Both shows we did at Cambridge. I really enjoyed the people.
I mean, you say it's taken a long time. I mean, you've been singing and working audiences for a long time. Didn't you start in some rough dives, strip clubs?
Yeah, I had dives in Vancouver, BC in the early 1970s, and we used to sometimes have to play 7 and 8 hours a night doing Hank Williams, Rolling Stones, Bob Dylan, a few of mine. So it's been quite a while.
Right. So doing 45 minutes of your own, no challenge.
Too easy. In fact, it's hard doing that smaller set, really.
Right. Now, so where are you up to at the moment? You've been working on the Americana trilogy. So I think there's 2 albums of that have been released.
Yeah, we had The Man from God Knows Where, about my ancestors coming from Ireland and Norway, and then Hot Walker, which was about growing up in Southern California, reading the beat poets, Bukowski and Kerouac and Bakersfield music. And the new film and CD is about my sister-in-law, who was born on a 30,000-acre Spanish ranch in California. And of course, I have a brand new single that is out now.
Right, you're going to play that now for us?
Yeah, it's a current song about the immigration issue in the United States, and I live very near the El Paso, Juarez, Mexico border, so it's a theme close to my heart.
Right, okay. As an observer of American life and a songwriter, there must be rich pickings at the moment.
Yeah. Every week something new. Yeah, definitely.
Okay. Well, good to see you.
Thank you.
Glad you enjoyed Cambridge.
Yeah, definitely. Love to come back.
Okay. Tom Russell with Michael.
I got 800 miles of open border right outside my door. Minutemen and little pickup trucks who've declared their own damn war. Now the government wants to build a barrier like old Berlin, 12 feet tall. But if Uncle Sam sends the illegals home, who's gonna build the wall? Who's gonna build your wall, boys? Who's gonna mow your lawn? Who's gonna cook your Mexican food when your Mexican maid is gone? And who's gonna wax the floors tonight down at the local mall? And who's gonna wash your baby's face? Who's gonna build your wall? Hey, I ain't got no politics, so don't lay that rap on me. Left wing, right wing, up wing, down wing, I see strip malls, sea to shining sea. It's a fat cat white developer who's created this whole damn squall. And in the pyramid scheme of dirty jobs, who's gonna build the wall? Who's gonna build your wall, boys? Who's gonna mow your lawn? Who's gonna cook your Mexican food when your Mexican maid is gone? And who's gonna wax the floors tonight down at the local mall? And who's gonna wash your baby's face? Who's gonna build your wall? We've got fundamentalist Muslim, we've got fundamentalist Jew, we've got fundamentalist Christians, they'll blow the whole thing up for you. But as I travel around this great big world, the thing that I most fear is a white man in a golf shirt with a cell phone in his ear. Who's gonna build your wall, boys? Who's gonna mow your lawn? Who's gonna cook your Mexican food when your Mexican maid is gone? And who's gonna wax the floors tonight down at the local mall? And who's gonna wash your bed? said, who's gonna wash your baby's face? Who's gonna build your wall? Think about it.
So as the sun is going down, the umbrellas and the parasols, of course, are going down, which means it's the end of the first programme from the Cambridge Folk Festival. Have you had a good day, Mark?
I'm glad the sun's gone down. It was baking earlier, wasn't it? It really was. Filming in that yurt, it was unbearable in there. It really was. So it's nice. Now, what did you see that you enjoyed?
I enjoyed so many things, but Chris Thiele, mandolin playing of, from Nickel Creek, absolutely mind-blowing. And then sit down and see him play Bach like that. You just think, here is a master musician.
Absolutely. He's the best mandolin player in the world, people tell me. People know more than me. I really enjoyed seeing Cerys Matthews back in action, because I think she's been through some dark times, really. So it's wonderful to see her back up there. And also, being the tart that I am, I have to get up and play with someone. And I managed it with Seth Lakeman.
I saw that.
Seth Lakeman's drummer went up.
Cheeky.
So I had a turn with him, which was nice to do. Anyway, we're going to finish. I think the word legend is thrown about too easily these days.
Completely agree.
But I think it's fitting on this occasion. She's my favourite female vocalist ever. Honestly.
That's saying a lot.
Honestly. I would happily sit and listen to her sing the Telephone Directory. Fortunately, she didn't do that here at Cambridge this year, but she's a legend of American music. It's Emmylou Harris, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
I don't want to hear a love song. I got on the same lane just to fly, and I know there's life below me, but all you can show me is the prairie in the sky. I don't want to hear a sad story.
There's more from Cambridge next Friday at 9. But stay with us tonight for all 3 parts of the story of Folk Britannia, starting in just a moment.